We all know by now that Mace Windu was one of, if not the most powerful Jedi at the time of Order 66. Being the creator and master of the combat form 7, Mace could go toe-to-toe with the most powerful Sith in the universe and many times would outright beat them due to his raw power alone. In saying this, what if Mace Windu was still alive at the time of Anakin and the 501st invading the temple and massacring the Jedi Order? Now before we get started, I know you all might be thinking that this theory simply wouldn't be possible, as if Mace Windu were alive it would mean Sidious was dead and Anakin didn't end up turning to the dark side. However, we are not looking at the theory from this standpoint, rather we're looking at it from a strictly hypothetical point of view, and in this scenario Windu was alive for the defense of the temple. Just before we get started, I want to quickly promote my Instagram, so it'd be appreciated if you go give that a follow, link in the description below. More importantly however, a user recently made me aware of the terrible situation Shannon McRandall is facing as she has unfortunately been diagnosed with a severe form of cancer. This has put a significant strain on every aspect of her life and she is struggling to support her family, let alone herself. I urge you all to help her out and check out her GoFundMe page linked in the description below. Remember, every dollar counts. Back to the video, and in this situation everything remains constant. The only variable in the equation is Mace Windu being alive. This means nothing has changed prior to the destruction of the Jedi Temple and Darth Vader is still leading the 501st in an attempt to exterminate the Jedi. If we assume Mace Windu was in the Jedi High Council chamber, one of the highest floors of the Jedi Temple whilst the raid is taking place, it may take him a couple of valuable minutes to reach the main hall where the majority of the massacre is taking place. The majority of the Temple Guard and Jedi in this main hall would presumably be dead or locked in close quarters combat. In saying this, the hundreds of other knights, padawans and masters of the order would have sensed something terrible going on and all would have rushed down to reinforce their remaining brethren locked in combat. Soon after this, Mace Windu has arrived in the midst of the firefight and in turn gives a huge morale boost to the surviving Temple Guard and Jedi, therefore beginning to turn the tide of the battle. After being locked in combat for a number of minutes, he senses the slaughter of a number of younglings at the hands of Darth Vader. At this, he leaves the ensuing battle and leaves it to another master to lead the remaining troops and finish off the invading force. Windu then has multiple visions of the slaughter of countless younglings and eventually tracks Vader to one of the uppermost training levels and engages him in combat. Although shocked and horrified at the slaughter and betrayal of the Jedi Order at the hands of Anakin Skywalker, Windu knows how to control his emotions and use Anakin's anger, hate and confusion against him whilst in combat. Although we know it would be a tough fight, we can hypothesize the fight went something along the lines of this. Due to Anakin's use of raw power through his hate-guided swings, Windu, a master of Form 7, would have been able to utilize this and use Anakin's hate against him, essentially creating a mirror match that even Anakin himself could not best. Windu would eventually be able to force a mistake and thus either disarm Anakin or kill him straight up. Either way, we can assume even if Windu did disarm him, he would have shown his aggressive tendencies and executed Anakin on the spot. Windu, after searching for any surviving younglings, would bring them down to the main hall and instruct the surviving Jedi to arrange a desperate escape from Coruscant. Although through the guidance and skill of Windu the Jedi were able to repel the invading force, they knew that this was only a fraction of the clone army and that they wouldn't be able to survive another attack. At this, Jedi sympathizers evacuate hundreds of surviving Jedi and with them pieces of invaluable Jedi artifacts and teachings that would have been lost if the temple had fallen. Although it still would have been a crippling blow to the Jedi as thousands of Jedi had been lost off-world and they had essentially been painted as evil and lost one of their most important Jedi temples, it is still better than the outcome we see in the movies as Vader would have been dead and hundreds of Jedi would have lived and been evacuated. To summarize, if Mace Windu were alive, there would have been a good chance that the Jedi would have survived the initial attack on the Jedi Temple, and many more would have survived. In saying this video is purely hypothetical, and for Mace Windu to be alive at the time of Order 66, the whole plot would need to be rewritten. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my social media, and more importantly, go show Shannon McRandall some support in her time of crisis. Remember, all links in the description below, and I hope I see you all in the next video.